In this video, we're going to be checking out the new NECA toys, Aliens vs. Predator Serpent Hunter. This one Predator was one I was really looking forward to getting because, obviously, the Xenomorph-inspired helmet. Figure looks good. It does feel like it's just a lot of retreading in this figure here. There's really not a lot that it seems to do differently than some of the other Alien versus Predator figures that we've seen before. I guess one of the real noticeable exceptions is the helmet. The helmet is the draw, I think, to this figure. The helmet is not removable. You cannot take it off or anything like that. But I really do like the look of the helmet. I almost wish that there was some darker areas around the mouth portion, because that's really where your eye is going to. The eye is around this section here. And I wish that maybe the areas that are darker gray could have even been even darker still, just to kind of resonate some of that extra detail. I like how he's got these little vents on the sides of the helmet there as well. Got the little laser scope still at the top there. It's a good head sculpt though. It's very smooth. It's very simple in its design, but I feel fairly effective. Also has the dreads, a notable carryover for all the Predator figures. This one now has the little caps, little sections here in silver. The plasma caster, the shoulder cannon that goes in the back here, is a little trickier, I've noticed, than some of the other Predator figures. Generally, the actual cannon seems to mount on the shoulder and then pegs down below here. The Serpent Hunter, on the other hand, seems to actually peg, if I can just move the hairs out of the way here, it pegs right here and right down here. It does involve a lot of moving of the hair out of the way to get it properly pegged into place. What you then also get is a cannon that sits more so to the side than rather to the top. From the top, it doesn't really clear nearly enough to really think that it would do much damage, but it does have a hinge that goes sideways. For some reason, the caster here, the actual cannon, sits really loose. I'm assuming it's just mine, but the hinges here are excessively loose. Right here where the cannon actually sits. But there's not really a lot to cover off on here that we haven't already seen before with other Predator figures. The coloring on the actual body is really something we've seen before. Even like the classic Predator exhibits this sort of coloring with this pale, almost yellowish cream color here, and then the little accents of the brown. Got the spots all in the chest. It's a beautiful looking piece, but it doesn't, again, really do too much different that we haven't already seen before. Now the Serpent Hunter Predator, does have two pairs of blades rather than the one that we normally see here. And he's also got the detonation, which actually looks like it's already been activated, so I better hurry along in this review. That opens, but again, he has two more narrow blades. And then he's got two broad blades, which is a nice touch. These don't feel very fragile, so just shy of this falling and banging itself, I feel like the blades are fairly durable. There are a few little accents here of like red that don't seem to make too many appearances here on Predators. A little bit of the red on the broken up gunmetal, which actually is nice because it just gives a little extra something other than just being all very muted gunmetal grays, your browns and whatnot. He also does have a skirt down below here as well. Some nice additional extra stuff that they've added to it. So like Serpent Hunter's got some skulls running around the belt area. Some nice little subtle browns. And really like those, again, introductions of the red. Just brings a lot extra to the table. He's got some strapping here on his legs. The legs look slightly different, although it's still got the taloned feet that make a lot of appearances with the Alien vs. Predator Predators. So that, in a nutshell, is your Serpent Hunter. Now, he does come with some accessories, one of which I've actually already changed out. That was the defaulted hand, which was closed shut. I'm surprised, actually, that they still continue to release these figures with molded shut hands. Generally, I think most people would actually gravitate towards, like, gripping hands, something that would default right away to holding something. But he does come with a closed fist. The current hand on this side is also this closed fist. But for some entertaining value of getting him displayed with some weapons, he does come with a pair of gripping hands. Again, one of which I've already got over there. One of the other things that comes included with Serpent is the Shuriken, which again doesn't really look all that much different from the Shurikens we've seen before, maybe except for some of this additional red that's been added there. Other than that, it looks like it's the exact same sculpt. And as well, one that also makes a revisit, maybe be for a little bit of extra paint there, is also this little dagger knife. Has a nice detailing there at the top. The dagger can fit right at the side holster of his leg, and it slides right into place. You kind of have to move sometimes the leg to clear the skirt, as everything kind of just butts against one another. But it sits very easily into the holster here of Serpent. Alright, so for his posability, it's on par with what you would expect. I'm sure I don't have to stress this, but rotating the head, yeah, it does pop this off from time to time. So be careful of that. The head does move up and down, left and right, just a little bit more restricted there. Shoulders hinge out, like that. A forward and back motion, a rotation in the bicep. You got your double hinged elbow, which also is always a nice touch. A pegged hand, which basically means it's a ball joint, so you can rotate the hand all the way around if you want, other than just the fact that you're going to be hitting these blades. An upper torso ball joint, a lower torso ball joint, gets a little tight on this figure, forward and back motion on the legs, as well as your split. He does have an up, right at the very top there, thigh swivel, double hinge on the knee, very nice, I like that, always like those. And a rotation in the foot, also back and forth. If you like ankle pivots, this figure's got them, ankle pivots. All in all, not a bad looking figure. It may sound as if that I was criticizing for the fact that a lot of what we see with Serpent here are carryovers from what we've already seen so often with the Alien vs. Predator figures, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I really like when they change it up from time to time and give us some very vibrant colors that if you are having these guys displayed on a shelf, it's those vibrant colored Predators that really, really stand out. This one, though, is still pretty good. I like how he turned out, but obviously the real draw of this particular figure goes to the head. And the head is really cool. I like that xenomorph-themed head. In this video, we were checking out the Aliens vs. Predator. It's not really super new, but we were looking at the Aliens vs. Predator Serpent Hunter Predator. Found this at my local comic book shop, so if you guys are interested in picking this up for yourself, I'm sure you can find it at other stores as well, but your comic book shops are always a good, surefire bet if you want to find some really cool goodies like this. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Xenomorph helmets? Click that little subscribe button down below, you're good to go. And there's also Predator playlists that you can watch at your viewing pleasure. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.